Markets are conversations adapted from lessons in the Cluetrain Manifesto. In the beginning, there were buyers and sellers. Buyers had simple products like apples, and there were sellers who wanted them. People would meet in those big marketplaces in the center of town, and they would have conversations back and forth with each other. The buyers could ask about products, give feedback, give each other great tips like go checking out the fish a couple stalls over, and the sellers could respond back to people immediately. It was the easiest and earliest form of marketing and sales. Eventually, products like apples went away as companies realized they could produce more, and so we had the culture of mass production and economies of scope, with people producing tons of things, such as all those millions of red cars you see next to our cellar there. Well, as time went on, they realized these conversations one-on-one couldn't take place anymore. They needed to devote their time and energy into making more and more of those red cars to get more profit. And so the walls went up as companies effectively sealed themselves off from the sellers, not having those conversations one-on-one anymore. But there was a problem. You see, there were all of those millions of cars, and they just didn't need one or two people to buy them. They needed millions of people to buy the cars. And so what happened? We had the culture of mass consumerism introduced. There's many cars and many buyers needed for those. And the companies couldn't talk to the people one-on-one. So they developed these great messages, advertising messages to send out. Cars are great. Well, people didn't like that. They kept avoiding the messages. They got smart. They realized when they were trying to market to them, and as much as the companies tried, the people would just ignore the messages. So the companies realized that those messages would have to change. They would have to get smart. So they went all stealth on us. What did they do? They started with things such as educational brochures, red cars, the safest, to send them out to people to try to fool us into thinking those weren't ads. And don't forget press releases, the things about companies that are really kind of disguised as news stories. Oh, and then there are those commercials on TV, cars rock, yeah, which are supposed to look more like entertainment than they are commercial to kind of trick us. Well, for the longest time, people bought this. We accepted these commercials. But something changed then. Something that would change, too, the way that we're marketed to and talk about products. Yep, that poorly drawn thing is a person sitting at their computer going on the internet. And it wasn't just one person. As things progressed, there were millions of people who were logging in, checking out what was online. And what were they doing as they were on there? Well, people through message boards, email, and instant messaging software started actually to talk to one another. You had someone with an idea or thought that would send it to someone else. They could respond back. People could add to it. The whole social network thing formed online. Well, people were connecting about problems they were having with products, whether it was problems with their red cars or computers or what have you. And there were a lot of negative messages that were starting to get out there about the companies. But the companies were clueless about how to talk to the people. They didn't know. Well, the authors of the Cluetrain Manifesto say, wise up companies, you have to take down the walls that form between you and people. You need to get yourself online, and you need to start talking to the people, talking to your customers, reading about all those problems, and then trying to work with them to fix their problems or make your products better. And what happens? Well, we have those same conversations that we started with hundreds of years ago going on again, with people talking back and forth. Marketing is conversation.